All right, we're gonna get to the summer tips, but I just want to show you, if you want to ask the question, hey, why should we believe anything you're saying here? Oh, smart, water smart guys. This is just stupid. Look at it. Kentucky bluegrass doesn't like the heat of the summer. Look at it. Ah! All right, into the video. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our lawn, and today I want to talk briefly with you about two very important things you can do to help yourself this summer to have your yard looking nice and green. And I promise you it's easier and cheaper than you think. So let's talk about it. And the first and easiest thing that you can change is your height of cut. So now, this is for cool season grass during the summer when it's going to be stressed out. There are some grass types that no matter what the conditions are, they want to be mowed shorter. For example, left or right, which looks better to you? I'd say the left, right? That's because that's all bent grass and it's likes being mowed short regardless of the conditions. So it's going to look better like that at that height versus in here where it's all laid over on itself, dying a slow, painful, disease, drought, and heat-induced death. But for your rise Kentucky bluegrasses and definitely turf type tall fescue, they are going to benefit from a higher height of cut. So all you need to do for a little bit greener yard this year than the last year, raise it up. And so that higher height of cut is going to give a little bit more leaf blade, a little bit more shade for the soil, a little bit more leaf as well to hold on to moisture, and just all around going to help. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is we're not necessarily going to mow more often, we're going to mow with nature. So basically right now, it's drought everywhere, and that's an issue, right? So what I've been trying to do is mow more strategically. So basically, if it's going to rain, I'm going to mow either before or after, probably after, so I know that it's gonna rain. After that rainfall, when the grass isn't at maximum stress. So I'm gonna try to do that. Now, you're not gonna be able to perfectly follow along to that type of a schedule because eventually you're gonna have to mow your grass. But once it gets into a stress scenario, stress situation, it's going to start growing slower, and you can kind of stretch out your mowing windows to let it hang on for a little while, let it hold as much energy, shade, protection as it can, and give it its best chance to stay healthy through the sun, hot, heat, humidity issues that are going to cause you problems. For example, the color difference between my yard down here and my neighbor's yard. No offense, Anna, if you're watching this. So again, here, the bluegrass up front, we can get a gander and a sense of the color and look that my yard has. And now on my lot, I have kind of an interesting experiment because of the way I'm going about renovating my front yard. I have a front yard section that's untreated, unwatered, and that'll bring us into the next discussion, which is talking about watering during the summer. It's something you're going to have to do, but I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that 1.5 inches a week thing that everybody tells you you have to do. It's not necessary. We can be smarter and we can be more resource aware than that. We don't have to do all that watering. Let me talk about it with you. So then we can look down the line here and see the difference in what has been watered a couple times versus what hasn't been watered at all. And so it is currently June. We have gotten very little water, very little rain from the sky. I'm currently 2 inches behind where I was last year at this time. And it's also been very hot for a lot of days for this time of year. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't want to water all the time. That's expensive. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's not good for the environment in some places, depending on where you are. I'm in the Great Lakes area with infinite water, but even then. So how many times, with what you're seeing behind me, how many times do you think I've watered this year in the back? Take a second, think about it. What's your guess? I'm gonna tell you, twice. I've watered twice in the backyard here. And I've mowed the putting green, I believe 7 times, including the 2 that the whole backyard got. Now you may think to yourself, how's he able to do that? How is only 2 waterings, and in the front the difference you saw was a difference of 3 waterings. I watered 3 times in the front yard, because that's my baby up there, I take better care of it. Is I'm really just watching for the grass to tell me when I need to water. You're going to look for kind of a graying of the turf. I don't have any right now because we got a big rainfall a couple days ago, and that's still holding on, so I don't really have a good example right now, but I know I do have examples from earlier in the year that I can show you, where your grass will turn this gray blue kind of color first, and when you see that, then it's time to water. And now again, we can be more conscious, more resource aware, and put down less water if, say, my yard, for example, I have a big pine tree out front, right there, coming out the top of my head, that takes a bunch of water out of the ground. And so I have a dry spot underneath that that's always an issue. So I've watered just there. Rest of the front yard didn't need water. I only watered that little area. And then the last thing to talk about with when we are watering is when everybody talks about with watering is correct. You don't want to water every day and water a little bit. If you are going to commit to watering, we need to get at least a ½ inch of water down. So that's going to require you to find, and I'm going to do it here while I'm outside because I got a pool out here and I got a bin of kids' toys. And let's look and see. What do I have? I got this bucket. What else we got? I got this cup. Find something, start your sprinklers, start a timer on your phone, and watch that cup and watch that bucket and whatever you put down until there's a ½ inch of water in it. And just do that. It's fine. Whatever you have around there. You got a solo cup? Mark a solo cup. Use literally anything. Figure out how much water you're putting down. Figure out how long you have to water to get a good ½ inch plus of water on the ground. And do that. And then just repeat the step again. You've watered now. Now we're just going to watch it for a period of time and see until it starts to get stressed again. And you don't need to water it until then. Now, could you water it more? Sure, that's going to help. But that feels wasteful and expensive and a lot of effort. So there you have it. 2 easiest and simplest tips for the things that you have to do. Now, granted, the mowing height you don't have to do, but it's going to help. And then watering. And that's it. Those 2 things are going to make a huge difference. You've seen the difference in what my yard looks like, my neighbors, and all the neighbors around me that are in the same conditions, some of those even professionally treated, and the difference that just my mowing habits and the couple times that I've watered have made. And that's all. It's not a lot, right? Raise the height up on your mower. Just move the levers. That's free. And a little bit of water, and you will be very, very, very happy with the results that you get. So I hope that's helpful. If there's something I haven't touched on, I'll try to answer any questions you might have in the comments below. If it was helpful, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along to what we're doing here, as well as back here with this putting green, as well as the Kentucky bluegrass out front, as well as this mess behind me, as well as the landscaping in the front. We got a lot of projects going on. So if you want to follow along to all of those, subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.